6 o'clock. All right. We can open the meeting. Let's see. So the meeting will be taped by Area 58, as most every one of our meetings is. Next on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Join me in standing, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next thing is the approval of the agenda. Are there anything to change from anybody on the
Looks
board?
good. No?
Okay, that's good. Then we'll go right into the minutes and the warrants. The first appointment's not till 6:15.
Let's see. Move to approve the following select minutes, regular session, November 9th, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
I move to affirm the approval of following warrants and commitments. Vendor warrant number 82 for $1,504,302.64. School warrant number 83 for $288,683.22. Ambulance commitment from February 2023 to February 26, 2023 for $49,404.62. Ambulance commitment from February 27th, 2023 to March 5th, 2023 for $30,835.69. Mobile home park fee number 3 for $5,148.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous.
I move to approve the following warrants. Payroll warrant number 84P for $408,553.69. Vendor warrant number 85V for $70,162.65. Holding warrants number 86W for $136,824.17.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, like I said, our first appointment's not until 6:15, so we can go through some of the discussions.
Want to do selectmen bills?
Selectmen bills.
Oh,
Selectmen bills, yeah.
Move to approve the
Yep.
payments of the following selectmen bills. Brooks and Durandis for $13,193.07. William August Esquire for $920. RELX Incorporated, LexisNexis for $0. $78.
$78?
$78 said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
W. Mason for $8.17. Volsky Restoration Contractor for $5,000.
I'll second those.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. We just go right down the list here, I suppose.
Yeah.
Zoning bylaw review committee.
Yes, so the zoning bylaw review committee, it consists of a couple of at-large members and 2 planning board representatives. So right now, there's only 1 planning board representative. We asked that planning bring it before them to try to get another planning rep. Unfortunately, there was nobody on the planning board interested. So there was interest by the previous planning board representative to stay on. Unfortunately, the committee is established the way it is, so it has to be a current planning board member. We did advise that anyone interested could submit a talent bank form for the at-large opening that we do have. To date, we've received 2 at-large forms with interest. One of the individuals I actually just found out today joined the finance committee, and they're serving as the representative to the committee anyways, so they would be out. So there is 1 talent bank form, and we just wanted to know what your take was, if you'd like to have the individual in to discuss with them their interest. We can schedule out the next meeting if you're interested.
I would, yeah, I think we should.
Sure. Yeah, just to make sure that the person's still interested.
I like to have, I like to meet folks that we're going to appoint. I mean, if we know them already, that's one thing, but if we don't know who it is, then I just assume meet them and, see what their thoughts are about it. The zoning bylaw review committee, I think, is important, especially with the MBTA issue coming up. We need to make sure we're paying attention to that. Electricity aggregate?
Yes, so we belong to electricity aggregation. Many people will probably notice on their electric bill the portion that they pay for the actual electricity is only about 10.7 cents per kilowatt hour, which if you look at National Grid's rates right now, it's over 30 cents. So it's a significant savings to everybody in town and the town itself. We're contracted into that rate until the end of September. So we've started looking at going back out to bid with our consultant, Colonial Energy. We're hoping to do that in the next month to lock in a new rate. We are hopeful that we'll get a good rate, although it's unlikely we'll get a rate as good as we have right now, just with the energy market. So just wanted to update you on the timeline. Once we've locked in a new provider, we'll update the board and we'll make that information public, but everyone is locked in until September. The only action that I would need you to take on this is to vote to give me authorization to give them preliminary approval of a rate, because basically they go out to bid and they get a rate, and we have 24 hours to lock in that rate on a preliminary basis. So
Who is they?
Colonial Power, they're our consultant in
Oh, the
this.
consultant.
So they'll go out to all the energy companies and get us the best rate. And if we feel it's a rate we could do better, we could say no and go back out. But if so, we want to lock it in if we can get a good rate. And then we'll bring it forward to you at the next meeting.
All right. Do we have a motion to authorize the town administrator?
Sure, just a quick question though for Cody. How, is it usually an annual aggregate that we agree on, or is it a multi-year deal? How does it usually work?
It can vary. I'd like to, if we can get a good rate, I'd like to lock in for 3 years.
Okay.
That's what you see a lot of the other communities doing. It's typically a no-lose situation. There'll be times where the rates will be similar, but there's, in the years that other communities have been doing this in Halifax, there's been very few times where the rate by the electric company is actually less than the rate that we are able to lock in.
Okay.
So it varies. If it's a good rate, it'll be longer. If it's a rate we feel like we can do better in the future, then we'll do a shorter term.
Okay, great. All right, yeah, I'll make a motion to give Cody Haddad authority to, I guess, signing authority, Cody, to preliminary agreement with Colonial Power on aggregate electricity rate.
Can I ask you a question on that?
Sure. Well, before you do that, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Yeah, we have a second. All right, go ahead.
How far close to September do you do that?
We're doing it now. We have to do it soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if, like say the rates are high now, gets closer to September, we lock in the high rate, get closer to September, the rates would fall a little bit, then we're locked in the higher rate.
I mean, like I said, if it's not a good rate, we would hold off. But you have to lock in, because you're talking about a significant amount of households that have to be switched over to a different electricity supplier. So we have to do it ahead of time. But we feel analyzing the energy market now is a good time to do it. That's why we're doing it now.
Okay.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. We have an affirmed weekly entertainment license for Monpont Events LLC, DBA Lakeside Villa.
So-
Something that we did on our break off time.
Yeah, so these were, all three of the next ones, they are related. There was a sale, they came before you previously to discuss the sale and the transfer. This is just affirming the approvals for the weekday entertainment, the Sunday entertainment, and the transfer of the common vic license.
Why don't we take them one at a time, just so we have a clear record? So I'll take the first one would be the weekly public entertainment license. So do we have a motion to affirm that?
So moved.
With a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Second one would be the affirm the approval of the Sunday public entertainment license. So we have a motion to affirm that approval.
So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. And then finally, affirm the approval of the transfer of the common victualer's license from in-season restaurant DBA Lakeside Villa to Monpont Events LLC DBA Lakeside Villa. Do we have a motion to affirm that?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous, okay. That takes care of
Awesome.
that. Open meeting law violation.
So we received 2 alleged open meeting law complaints from Patrick Higgins. The first one here is for the February 22nd meeting. It was a joint meeting with the Finance Committee, and the complaint is that the chairman did not state that the meeting was being recorded. And I did review the video. It was an oversight on our behalf. So you'll see in your folder here is just a drafted response to the individual that submitted the complaint, just acknowledging that it was an oversight on our behalf and that we've made sure to, in the future, announce that the video is being recorded. And so if there's any discussion, basically I would just need you to vote to authorize me to send this letter on our behalf in response to the complaint.
Well, since it was my error, I will make the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
The second complaint that we received was for the February 28th meeting. There were a few different allegations here. The first one is that the meeting minutes from July 12, 2022 and November 12, 2022 were not accepted in a timely manner. You'll see in my response letter here to Mr. Higgins, this was previously addressed with him. We acknowledged that it wasn't done in a timely manner. Unfortunately, we all know the town of Halifax went through a difficult time with the resignations of select board members and the town administrator, so that has delayed some of the work getting done. So we're back on track and we're starting to get those updated. And that's ultimately what the response would be there. The second complaint is that entered into the second executive session of the night pursuant to Chapter 38, Section 2. This was clearly a Scribner's error. Section 2 has nothing to do with executive session. It's supposed to be Section 21. So the 1 just got deleted when we posted the agenda. And that's basically what we say to him in the response. It has no, there's nothing that affected the meeting, and no formal votes were taken there in that executive session, so there was no impact. And the third is that we use acronyms in the agenda and throughout the meeting that the general public had no idea what was being referred to. I don't think that's a violation of the open meeting law, so I did let Mr. Higgins know that, but in order to be more transparent, we'll make a better effort in the future to not use those acronyms. But
What is he talking about? What
I think we used RFQ for request for qualifications instead of spelling it out, but during the meeting I did state what it was. I didn't just use the acronym. So, but we'll do a better job of listing out the full, whatever it is that we're utilizing for an acronym. But again, that's really not a violation of the open meeting law. And so again, here you see my response, which is basically what I just went over. I just need you to vote to authorize me to submit this letter on your behalf.
I will make that motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. American Thunder fireworks contract.
So this one, Jonathan, do you have any updates on this one?
I did, yeah. So they've found do we have the contract here? Or no? Okay. So they found a vendor. They were looking for a vendor that would be able to do something closer to the 4th. I know a lot of folks in town weren't fans of the June fireworks show, and they like things to be a little bit closer to the 4th of July. So they kind of searched around and found a company that I'm happy to say is able to do it in July. So I believe it was July 1st, Cody, which is technically 4th of July weekend. They're excited that we have our fireworks show, essentially right on the weekend of the 4th. So that's where they're at. And they wanted us to affirm the contract with American Thunder Fireworks.
Did you have any update on the procurement?
Procurement, they tried to get that date, and they called around and they couldn't get somebody to come in on that date, so that's why they went with this company.
Okay, so procurement law doesn't allow the board to approve the contract until we have proof of that we had tried to gather proposals.
Okay.
So the state does require us to have that proof on file. So some sort of documented in writing that we tried to get other. We want to not violate procurement law.
Sure,
Unfortunately, it can
sure.
make things challenging, but if we can get, as long as we can show that an effort was made to get the proposals, that's fine.
Okay.
But we have to at least show that we made an effort to get
Would-
the
Is this the
proposals.
4th of July?
Yeah, yep. So Cody, would a letter from the committee suffice, or?
No, you would need copies of emails or correspondence
Okay.
between the committee and the vendors.
Sure.
Stating, basically asking, would you be able to provide fireworks services, to the town of Halifax on July 1st?
Okay,
And then if they say yes, they can submit the price, and then we would go with the lowest respondent. And if they say no, then we've at least made our effort to find other vendors.
okay.
Anything over $10,000, we have to make that effort.
I will let the committee know.
Very good.
I think we've used American Thunder in the past, by the way.
They have.
Yeah,
They were
probably.
one of the original companies. They were excited to be back with
Did a great
them.
job when they did that.
Yeah.
Okay. I
So it's
thought-
really not an issue. We can put it on the next agenda. We just
Okay.
have to have it for our
Yeah.
procurement file.
Sure. No, we got to dot the i's and cross the t's.
Okay, I got 6:15. So we have a scheduled appointment with Angel Galapa Castro? Yes. Mr. Castro, nice to meet you. Thank you for coming in. So the reason for your visit, we have a request for a live entertainment permit. It's a live entertainment permit application for March 18th, which is this weekend, right? Saturday?
Yep, I'm just going to translate. Prácticamente te están diciendo que si tú vas a tener un permiso para el 18 de este mes. Yeah, so, yeah, for the 18th.
Okay, you know what, can we just get your name as
Yeah, Wilmer. Wilmer
Wilmer, and last name Wilmer?
Lopez.
Lopez. Just, they
and your
want us to know.
relation here?
I
to-
just friend.
A friend?
Yeah,
okay.
just translate.
And does, Mr. Castro doesn't speak English?
No.
At all?
¿Tú no entiendes inglés algo?
Okay, I just wanted to... Okay, all right. And it's okay if he translates for you?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Get the translation. Yeah.
okay. All right, so what you're asking for is a live entertainment permit for this coming Saturday. It's for a christening, is that right?
Baptism.
A baptism?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. 90 people, and the location is 122 Monpont Street, Halifax. All right. I don't know about 1 o'clock in the morning. That seems kind of
Seems late.
long to me. Is there a reason why you have that late in the day?
Dice que prácticamente hasta la 1 de la mañana es muy largo. Dice, estoy pensando una razón por qué vas a estar hasta la 1.
O sea, bueno, son familiares, o sea, cuando empiezan a festejar, entonces quedan hasta 12, 1 de la mañana. Bueno, a veces, bueno, podemos tratar de terminar lo más pronto posible el party, pero el máximo es el hasta.
Okay, so pretty much he got relatives coming over, maybe New York, different states, so they want to stay over and probably end up by 12, 1 o'clock.
They want to stay over at the property, like
Well,
overnight?
yeah, they might stay over at his house, but they want to keep the party where they dance and stuff like that. So,
I'm not familiar with the property. Do you have 90 people expected? Where is the parking?
dice que tienes como 90 personas, ¿dónde es el fiesta?
Es un negocio donde
So behind his house, he has a big shed.
Behind
Yeah.
what?
Behind the house.
The house.
Big shed.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
There's room for that many?
that's, tiene la habilidad de hacer para tener 90 personas. It's pretty big. So, yeah.
Okay. So we really only have to deal with the live entertainment part of it, which would run until 9 o'clock. I think.
That would be
So amplified music.
Both the chiefs are here for this.
Yeah. And that's, and the live entertainment is amplified music. It's like playing something over like loudspeakers of some sort.
Los artistas se van a llegar para tener música antigua, sonidos,
Ya, no, pero vamos a tratar de hacer lo más volumen de la que ponga y después de la noche y no vamos a hacer música.
pero tienen amplificador.
Ya, sí.
So they do have amplifiers in DJ.
Pero digamos pequeños parlantes, no
So they won't have a DJ. There's going to be pretty much this is friend plays the band. The music up to 9 o'clock.
I'm sorry, would it be a DJ or no?
It won't be a DJ, but the band they want to keep it only till 9 o'clock.
Oh,
The band until 9?
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Is anybody from the board have any questions?
No, the thing that struck me was 90 people. You know, that's a lot of people. And I'm guessing it's probably not going to be nice this weekend. I don't know what the latest forecast is, so I'm just concerned that you have room for 90 people indoors.
It's a big building.
Is it
Used to hold an RV.
Okay.
It's right off 58.
Okay. So yeah, that's my two concerns were just that it's safe, you know, that you know, you can safely fit 90 people if you get bad weather or something like that. We don't have any issues, and it looks like fire chief is okayed it. And then the other thing is noise, you know, like I love a good party too, but we got to be respectful of our neighbors. And you know, if the band shuts down at 9, that seems reasonable to me. The other issue is parking. Do you have enough room for all these cars and everything?
And the front they have a big parking lot.
Yeah, it's a big piece of property.
Prácticamente no hay problemas de ninguna la fiesta. El fin de semana posiblemente sea el clima, depende del clima, pero el problema es 90 personas, muchas personas. Si no hay problema,
It's right after Almond Mill Road on the right.
Okay. I know what you're talking then.
Yeah, it's with a big RV.
Yeah. I know
So
what
it's
you're
not a
talking
shed, it's a barn.
It's a barn.
Padrinos, familiares, a veces vienen bastante, a veces vienen un poco menos. No
So it's a raw festival in 90 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Winowitz had his hand up.
Chris Winowitz, 129 Circuit Street. I just had one concern that it does end not too late, because I know on a couple other occasions, my parents included, that the mobile home park, which from that property is directly across the Cranberry Bog, seemed to coincide with the police were being called to like 1, 2 in the morning with loud music. And my parents, and there's one street, the mobile home park, was hearing the music seemingly at the same time, keeping them up at night.
Okay.
So, you know, it's always 1 to 2 in the morning.
Okay, so the permit will go till 9, and then after 9 o'clock you have to stop with the band and,
With the loud
you know,
music.
any amplified music of any sort. Still be
Dice,
there.
digamos, la persona dice que los papás viven al frente de la casa al otro lado, dice que van a llamar a la policía como 1 o 2 de la mañana. Dice, pero si tú no puedes apagar la música a las 9 de la noche, no tiene problema.
Ok, yo voy a tratar de volumen que no tiene ningún problema con el sonido. Voy a tratar de hacerlo.
Okay, so yeah, people sense about a lot of music, so he will keep, you know, shout off and on the band and just keep them over.
Does anyone else here that wants to speak? Yeah, Chief Chase.
I just want some clarification from the board. What time is this event starting and what time is it ending? It ends at 9?
7 to 9?
So it's,
The amplified music's at 9.
right. What time is the baptism starting?
¿A qué hora va a empezar el bautizo?
No, bueno, misa va a ser como las 1:30, pero, bueno, es en Brockton, pero aquí va a empezar como desde 7 de la
So the baptism's in Brockton, and then the people are going to come by
Yeah, from
at
7
the E and, okay, that's fine, all right. So my other question is, I don't have an issue with parking. Myself and Chief put him inspected the property because we had some issues there earlier. And there's plenty of room inside the barn for 90 people if that's what he's going to have.
Okay.
My only concern is I need to make sure he knows that he can't sell alcohol.
Okay.
He can't have bodyguards. you know, or people inspecting, and he can't be charging a fee.
Right.
Is this what happened during Carnival? And we were called there numerous times because the neighbors were complaining, and allegedly, you know, people were offered bribes, I guess, to not to call the police because they had people at the door acting as bodyguards. It's not, you can't have that as a private nightclub. It's a residence. So I just want to make sure that Mr. Castro knows that. Because I know when I went there for the inspection, he was home, but he was sleeping. I spoke to his girlfriend and to the other gentleman there, so I want to make sure that he's clear on that. Because if we get called there and it's beyond 9 o'clock, the music's beyond 9 o'clock, we're going to shut it down. So just can you explain that to him?
Dice, prácticamente no tienes que cobrar la entrada, no tienes que tener security, los seguros, ajá, y que no puedes cobrar.
Ok, de ese tipo de
Dice,
evento.
a las 9 de la noche tiene que acabar la música alta, puedes quedarte hasta las 12, pero la vez pasada han llamado a varias personas, dice, y han estado dando como que sobornando a las personas para que no llamen a la policía.
Oh, ya no, está bien, yo no voy a tratar de hacer yo no voy a ver ese tipo de party y solo fiesta familiar como matrimonio, bautizo, solo eso y de 9 de la noche para atrás voy a tratar de mojar lo más bajo que pueda y que eso va a no.
Okay, so yeah, he understands.
Okay, and the other thing too is that I don't want to see any advertising on any social media about this party. This is supposed to be a family party, a baptism, which is fine. I don't have an issue. I don't think the board has any issue with it. I just don't want it to be guys to have another party like you guys had, you know.
They have, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's
Dice,
fine.
okay, dice, prácticamente no quiere ver en las redes sociales nada de que va a haber fiestas ni haciendo publicidad de que vas a tener fiestas aquí.
Okay, está bien.
Do I understand this is a baptism, so it would be mostly family, I would
Family
assume?
members. So, si es una fiesta, dice, de un bautizo, va a haber solamente familiares. Yeah.
Okay, so you wouldn't need to, you wouldn't need to,
Bautizo, confirmación o matrimonio.
No, de esta vez que va a ser ahorita.
O ese es el bautizo.
So, yeah, so it's going to be much.
so you wouldn't need to advertise it or charge admission or anything like that anyway. I mean, that, it's a
Right,
family
no, what
party.
happened before is when they do carnival, they charge that something happened there, so that's why we call the police.
Right.
Right, okay, so no tienes que cobrar, nobody.
No, eso no.
No, we don't want that to happen again. Right?
Right, so I wasn't that was there, so okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, no tiene que cobrar entonces, okay.
Yeah, solo carnaval celebramos solo un año una vez nada más, pero el año que viene ya no vamos a celebrar.
Yeah, carnival is every year, but they won't do this year.
So next year, if you guys have Carnival again, you guys will know the proper way to do it.
Right, right. So, si tú vas a carnaval el próximo año, ya sabes que no tienes que cobrar nada.
Yeah, no, está bien.
Ya, no debe estar.
Okay. Is anyone else from the audience, Chief Witham, anything to
I
add?
just want to make sure that they have no fires, right? No outside.
No outside fires?
Okay.
Fires, fire pits or anything like that.
No puedes hacer fuego afuera, quemar leña ni nada de eso.
Oh,
No puedes hacer nada de fuego.
Ok, solo a veces cuando, ¿cómo se llama? Quemaba así cartones cuando recoge, pero siempre hago ¿cómo se dice?
Fire pit, ajá.
Ya, en eso le hago quemar.
Sometimes he does it, but that's only for himself. So, he got a lot of work.
Nothing for the event, though.
No, nada para la fiesta, no nada de eso.
No, eso ya para.
Okay, Mr. Massio?
So, David Masio, 1610th Ave. So, 90 people roughly estimated. Are they going to allow notification to the abutters? Because that's quite an event with 90, you're going to see 50 to 60 cars in that vicinity.
Well, the permit doesn't require that, so
Yeah.
hopefully they've already spoken to the neighbors and,
Yeah, I don't think we've ever required anyone to notify the abutters, other than if they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart.
I think that-
I've permitted weddings and have gone there and spoken about the parking situation, and then the person that's holding the wedding will go around the neighborhood, but I don't think the board needs to notify the abutters if it's going to be.
I understand completely, Chief,
Yeah.
and to be honest with you, I didn't have any question to this till I heard carnival with bodyguards and, you know.
That was before. That's why we.
You know, we're gonna have a baptism and it's gonna turn into a nightclub. So it's
Just so
like-
we're clear, the only thing that's before the board here
Yes.
is a live entertainment permission, and really that has to do with the sound.
I'm
and
down for a
music.
party.
Yeah, absolutely.
The rest of this is all important to our understanding of what's going on and whether or not we think it would work. So it sounds like the chief has already had enough conversations with you, with Mr. Castro, and all, so that they understand what's going on. Okay, any other comments or questions from the board or from anyone? Okay, so
No, congratulations.
do we have a,
Felicidades.
Oh, gracias. Igualmente. Disculpe, primero yo no sabía mucho de cómo es en este país o no sabía cómo es los leyes de la ciudad, no sabía, entonces desde ahora para adelante cualquier cosa yo voy a estar viniendo y preguntando y avisando todo.
Yeah, he said he didn't know the law before, so nowadays if he wants to do something that he'll always come and ask.
Sure.
okay, good.
Sure.
All right, do we have a motion?
Sure, I'll make that motion to allow a live entertainment permit application for Angel Gualapa Castro for 7 to 9
Yeah,
for the band
on the 18th.
on the 18th of March.
Y también no sé,
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? You have anything else you wanted to add here? or no?
¿Quieres
sí, yo quería, bueno, para no hacer las fiestas, a ver, yo quería ampliar ese área un poco más grande para hacer solo un juego de voleibol, nada más, a ver si aceptan que haga un poco más grande para hacer juego de voleibol y para procesar con los ingenieros para que aumente.
Okay, well, he wants to pull a permit later on down the road, maybe I'll make it big or something.
I'm sorry, he wants to what?
How you call this, not shed, he wants to make it bigger, but that's.
Oh, he wants to make the bond bigger.
The barn bigger?
Yeah,
Oh, that's a different.
Yeah.
That's a different,
Yeah.
That's not this. Yeah, that
Yeah.
has to go through the planning board.
Yeah.
There's a couple more steps in that, just coming in.
Yeah, that's all, but he wants to ask.
This doesn't allow you to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, give everybody a hammer, you're all set.
It's a barn raising.
I know, the old Amish barn raising.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the permit. Any further discussion from the board? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you, good luck, guys. Yeah, de nada.
Does he have to pay something for the?
Live entertainment? No, 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 no.
O sea, no.
wanna pay?
I know. Yeah.
Gracias.
I've gotten them myself before. I never had to pay for them.
No, no.
Okay, gracias.
Good, all set. Thank you, guys. Yeah, good luck.
All right. Next up is memo from Flower and Soul.
All right, bye-bye.
Annual donation for 5 years. That's a
So we have a letter here from Flower and Soul Cannabis Dispensary, where they've committed to investing at least $10,000 in fireworks each year for the next 5 years. And they also mentioned this letter that they hope to grow the program and grow the festivities. So this is great.
Grow, I see what you did there, grow. Yeah,
For the 4th of July events.
It's awesome.
yeah.
Kind of curiosity, do we, I'm sure we tax the property. Do we tax the income there too?
We do. We get a 3% state tax on all marijuana sales. How much? 3%.
Must be pretty good.
They're doing well.
If they're putting $10,000 a year into fireworks,
They're doing okay.
pretty good.
They're doing all right.
Do we need to do anything?
No, this is more just notification to the board.
Sweet.
Well, can we send them a letter thanking them, I suppose?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and in just, I was on the board. I was on the board in the summer. I was on the board in the summer when Brian, the owner, came in, and I was very impressed. He's very much committed to Halifax and this event. And like you were saying, Cody, he envisions it back to kind of what it was a little bit, where there's events during the day, not just the fireworks at night. And he wants to make sure that we have it for years to come. So I was very impressed, and I thank him for his generosity.
Okay. ambulance abatement, did we? No, we didn't do that. February?
We didn't do that one, right?
Nope.
No.
Move to approve ambulance abatement February 2023, $63,663.77.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Okay. Updates, MBTA action plan. We talked a little bit about that.
Yes, so the technical assistance grant that I've spoke about since we started talking about this has opened. So I'll be submitting an application in the next week or two, and then we hope to get Oak Colony Planning Council on board to assist us in reviewing the feasibility and the whole process here. So I'll keep the board updated, but that's all I have for that one.
All right. Morse Brothers?
So we don't have too much of an update. We did conduct our site visit. Myself, John Bruno, our engineer, and our council did a visit. Since then, we've had an executive session. And I can't elaborate, much more than that. But as soon as anything becomes public, we'll share that in public session.
Is there any moving of dirt or?
Right now, no, there's not.
They're bringing equipment in.
They're bringing equipment, they're getting ready, they're ramping up.
It could very well be, and so.
Oh, no, they are. It's not very well. They physically brought the machines in.
What's the allowable material get moved?
Nothing's getting moved right now.
They've already moved a lot.
They move material all the time, but like, what's the allowable right now? We all know 7,000 yards is the.
There's no, we can't get too deep into it because it's likely that it could end up in some sort of litigation, so we can't go any further than that. All we can say is that at this point, they're not supposed to be taking anything out of there. Whether they're preparing to, that's up to them, but right now, they're not supposed to be taking anything out.
Can we put a time restriction on any moving equipment?
We're working on specifics. I understand the idea that people want to know more as soon as we're able to give
We live
more.
in the neighborhood, so this is why we're here. So it's not to disrupt what it is, but they've already overstepped with what the trucking was, and I don't know if anybody's calculated what they've already taken, and if anybody's put that into account of what they're supposed to do. And I understand, John.
The issues that you're raising are complicated, to say the least, and again, we can't really discuss it because we haven't. We can't discuss those kind of details. What's happened in the past has happened in the past. I don't know what, if anything, will do anything about that. But that's for another matter. Our issue right now is basically what potential they might be doing shortly, and we can't.
You can speak up, all right?
We really can't get into that at this point because we have. We just can't get into it. If we're going to do that, then we're going to start talking in open session. Everybody's going to know what our plans are, right? In terms of our thoughts, in terms of possible litigation. Because
The residents need to know. That's
we can't do
the difference.
We can't do that yet. Otherwise, Morse Brothers is going to know exactly what we're thinking. We don't want them to do that yet. So when we can talk about it in public session, which as soon as we will, we just can't.
But for now, right now, can we put a time restriction on you're moving equipment. Like at 7:30 at night, I'm all set with a screener moving in or a loader coming in at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Like, you follow me? Like, when it's picking season, all for it, go 24/7.
Yeah.
You know you get a farm. I totally get that. Farm, corn, whatever.
Yeah.
But like as of like the moment as right now, when you get trucks going up and down, 7:30, 8 o'clock, the trailer's banging, the 10-wheeler's banging, you know what I mean?
Okay. I hadn't heard that yet.
He lives right on the corner of 13th and the dirt road.
There's nobody that lives close to the right.
So we haven't heard that yet. When we were there last week, there weren't any trucks back there. It was just sand and dirt. Whether or not things have changed since then, I don't know. But we are talking to them. We hope to have it resolved as quickly as we can. I can't tell you exactly when, but we're trying to get it done as fast as we can.
I just
We've
want to
heard
see
all the
anything
issues.
flying on the radar, like the radar. You know what I mean? Like,
We've heard all the issues, believe me, we've heard it. We know their concerns in that neighborhood. We're trying to at least control it. But right now, we don't have an answer for it. It's in the works. It's in the hands of the lawyer, the engineer, and negotiation back and forth. So we're working on it. We're
they
going to try and get it done as fast as we can. Yeah. So it's on our agenda every week for this one purpose, so that we don't let it slide by.
When they pulled the material out prior, did they have active permits to do so?
The last permit was issued in 2016.
I think it was 17.
17, I think?
7.
Yeah.
So there wasn't an active permit the last time they were.
In December, no.
Did they get a fine?
Well, that's part of the issue. I mean, we know that's,
Or they
I think you
received a
guys were
fine?
at the meeting we had last, it was in January, when Mr. Magone came in to talk to us about it. And there's a disagreement between Morse Brothers and the town as to whether they need a permit and whether they don't need a permit. That's one of the things that we have, that's why we're spending money on the lawyers to figure all that stuff out. Their understanding is an agricultural use. We don't agree with them, but we're trying to resolve.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like, everybody's gonna make a living. I get that.
Yeah.
It's just putting up.
Okay. Mr. Gillespie?
Be the rules.
No, we get it.
Yep.
We do.
We're working on it.
We're not leaving it behind. You know what I mean?
Right.
Chairman Gillespie, non-Richie, are you aware of any plans for them to bring material into the site? And if you are aware of those plans, you know that the composition of that material is?
Bring it onto the property?
Yes.
Not that no one is.
Are you aware of any plans of them to bring material from somewhere else?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
No. We're really going off of that discussion in January. So the discussion in January, they stopped, and when we told them to stop in December. They have other thoughts, they have other plans of things they want to do, and that's where we're having the disagreement with them. So we're trying to work that out, but we don't want to discuss that. We can't discuss that in the public session, so.
I know it's frustrating.
Mr. Winowitz, you had a question?
You had answered it after I raised my hand, that previously their standing was the town was you need a permit, and they thought under agricultural, they don't need a permit, they can,
Well, I don't know
I know
what
you can't go into detail about it.
I think the 2017 one may have been a different circumstance. They may have actually been selling the material back then. In
I
that,
think the more recent one, I was at a former meeting where they had a representative here, and their view was it's under agricultural, and they don't.
that's the January meeting, yeah.
Yeah, but the permit in 2017, it might have been for
Sale.
sale. They were selling
That's the last
or whatnot.
permit that was issued is 2017.
Which, if they're having a trucking company pull the material out, somebody's got to pay for that trucking company. So somewhere there's money exchanging.
I moved to Mill Brothers, so.
Yeah, so we're not stupid, Chris, if that's what answers your question.
No, I agree
Is
with that.
that
I
if
wouldn't want.
Ryko Trucking
200
is
trucks
pulling
going through.
friggin' material out of there, they're selling the material. And it's not under the guise of it's agricultural. Morse is not gonna just pay $1,300 a day per truck to truck out that material. It's not, we're not born at night.
Okay, anyway, that's the update. It's on our agenda every week, and not because we want to necessarily aggravate anybody, but because I don't want to forget about it. I don't want anybody to ignore it. So if we didn't put it on the agenda, it would be, well, maybe we'll get to it next week. So I want to make sure it's up every week just for this reason.
Just in case we get more
know there's an
information
issue.
that we can give
We're
up
trying to
to you guys.
resolve it.
Yeah, is there any time like there's gonna be like another big meeting about it?
There may be.
Or
There may be.
you're just trying to slip something in every week. You know what I mean? Hoping people don't show up.
No.
No, it's not that.
No
That's
way.
definitely
If
not.
we were going to do that, I wouldn't,
No,
Yeah,
we get
no.
it.
if we're going to do that, I wouldn't put it on the agenda.
Yeah.
I put it on the agenda
We
specifically.
want you guys
so
to
we
know.
talk about it.
You have to put it on the agenda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do. And so it's always on there, it's gonna be a
We're not
standing,
trying to- we're not
it's
trying to-
gonna be a standing item until we resolve it. So,
Like
until
I
we
said, I
resolve
don't
it.
mind that time they call it, and it's just like, hey,
Yeah.
no time restrictions, I want.
Yep, yep, until we resolve it, it's gonna stay on the agenda every meeting, so hopefully we'll
Do you
have
know
it
what
resolved
time in the
soon.
future when their lawyers and their representatives gonna come and?
Where they're
A
at.
big
Is
meeting
there
like
any-
that?
Is there any site plan for-
We'll see.
Any future date for this, or?
No, we'll see.
Or is there just gonna be a little?
We're trying, you can keep asking me questions I can't answer right now. We're trying to resolve it now, I know you guys have been patient, you don't want it to go on any longer, and that's why it's on the agenda every week. It's just simply for that reason, so that we don't forget about it.
Okay.
Okay?
Sweet.
We know you don't want to keep coming every week. You just want
We
to.
don't.
Exactly.
You're welcome to come, you're
No,
welcome to come.
I'm kind of getting into the town.
Yeah, you're getting used to it now.
No, I'm kinda-
Education.
Like, I never knew there's a club getting, you know what I mean? Like, what's a cover charge?
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
Yeah.
The old lady's working that night, what's a cover charge?
You got Brockton, you benefit Fall River, show on Boston.
Get out of here.
Okay, next thing is training, boards and commissions, and we do have a little bit of an update on that, right?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yes.
No, right?
No. No.
So
I wasn't there.
we did send out to all
Thank you
our
guys.
No problem.
See ya.
Have a good night.
and our employees open meeting law training. So we requested that everybody at least join one of those sessions. There's several sessions in the next month or two. There's really no excuse why you can't go on at least one. It's 90 minutes. It's on Zoom. They range in times from lunchtime to 5:30 at night to 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So they were all the same. You just need to sign up for one. We sent that out to everybody, and I did request that everybody take that. It's the open meeting law. There's a lot to it, and this would provide everybody with the tools to effectively follow that law. So.
We had talked about this several times in the last couple of months about, especially for elected boards, we don't have anything we can do about it. They
They're their
don't
own
have to show
animal.
up. They're
Right.
elected, they get to do what they want. But I
Yep.
think on all the appointments that we make, I think we've talked about this, that we want to require the folks to do the education that's necessary. So I think we should make that as part of your notice to everyone. Say, you know, if you're going to, for appointments, we have to have everybody follow the education. I don't want to be overly harsh about it, but I think it's really important that we just make sure everybody that's working with us knows that. And I didn't get that, by the way. I obviously need to go on my Zoom.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
You
it. I
should have
got
brought
it.
it.
Yeah, maybe
I just sent it out this evening.
Oh, okay.
So-
Is it the same thing as Susan sent us, or you
No,
sent from?
no,
That's totally
no.
different.
Okay.
So that's conflict of interest training that everyone is required. That's state law. You have to take that every 2 years. This is just open meeting law.
Yeah.
And it's a training. It's a video training, and there's no
Yep.
test per se at the end.
So I thought we had made it a policy that we're going to have everyone attend the training.
We've definitely talked.
We did.
Yeah. So I would like to make sure that we emphasize that, you know, this is part of that. My thought is, and I know you're working on this, but my thought is, and we talked about this before also, some things everybody should do, open meeting law, you know, they should, it applies to all of us. Some things is specific, like when we can get the programs in place, if you're appointed to the zoning board, we expect you to take zoning board 101, so at least you know, what the new laws are, even if you've done it before, and so on, like that, or conservation, or, because those things they're very technical now, and they've become way more technical in the last couple of years. They're just extraordinarily complicated. State laws, sometimes the federal laws, our own laws, they're very, very complicated, and we're really doing a disservice to our volunteers if we don't give them the education. So.
Maybe, John, like some of the questions we ask folks when they are being appointed, just make them aware that as part of this appointment, it comes with training, and if you're going to be appointed to this position, you need to make training a priority,
I think
necessity.
so. No, I mean, it's
Yeah.
the same thing, like, we talked one time about whether or not, if somebody doesn't show up for meetings that they're
Multiple,
supposed to,
yeah.
they should be reappointed. Well, probably not, but same thing, training's the same thing, you know.
Sure.
You're gonna wanna be on the zoning board, I thank you for your work and your service, but make sure you do it right.
Sure.
So, we get into problems.
Sure.
I'm picking on the zoning board, I don't mean to, it's just the first thing that comes to mind. All right, anything else?
No, we just have an
Executive session. All right, so I will move that we, is this right now? You check.
Double check all the sections.
I'll move that we enter into an executive session pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 21A2, and not to return to open session, and we will discuss the fire chief contract, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiation with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel.
Second.
Roll call vote. Mr. Nezarella?
Yes.
Mr. Seeley?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno, yes. We're now in executive session.